Hello and welcome to episode 92 of my Working with Todoist series. In this episode, I'm going to answer a viewer's question, and that viewer is Alain Durazzo. I hope I pronounced your name correctly there. And Alain had asked if I could show my favorite shortcuts and quick actions that I use regularly in Todoist. And I thought, great, that sounds like a fantastic episode for this series. So today I'm going to show you exactly which actions and which shortcuts I'm using on a regular basis. Now, just to give you a little bit of background here, I'm using most of my quick actions and shortcuts when I am processing my inbox at the end of the day. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with how I process my inbox and show you how, with some sample tasks, how I process those. And then I'm just going to show you how I use it when I'm using third-party or other applications that are not Todoist, and to show you how I'm getting actions and tasks into my Todoist. Now, today I'm not going to cover anything on iOS on my mobile phone. Just for those of you who are interested, I have my email is set up so that I can forward email directly to my Todoist inbox. And I also use the Todoist share sheet on the iOS system, both for the iPad and for the iPhone. But today I'm just going to focus how I'm using it on my laptop, on my desktop, because that's pretty much how I am focusing on how I'm actually using quick actions and shortcuts on a daily basis. Okay, so let's get started and I'll show you how I'm using it. Okay, so let's have a look at how I would process, or how I am processing my inbox. Now, this one I actually clipped from Safari, which I will show you how I use that in a second. And these are just three that I just randomly selected, just so that I can show you how I'm processing this. So now let's imagine that I've had a long day at work, and now I'm processing my inbox. So what I would do is I'd look at this, and this is a radio show on BBC Radio 4. So this is going to be at my computer, so I can type on that. So what I've done is I've corrected the @ and as soon as I type in the @ it brings up my my labels. Then I would put in my hashtag, and this is going to be music to listen to. So this is one of the things that's really important, that you actually know your labels and you know your projects. If you have hundreds of projects, you're just not going to remember them all. But this one is a way that I remember. Now, this is not music, by the way. This is actually a radio show, but to me, radio show and everything, it's music. Now, the thing with this, I know that I'm not going to put a date on this. This is just going to add to my music to listen to list. So I can just click return, and that's going to disappear. Take Barney for a long walk. Now, my little dog, he loves going for his long walks. This is definitely it at home, as I call it. So it's my at home task. And I'm going to put that in my home single actions. So single actions, see, I mentioned the word walk, and now he's barking. I don't know if you heard that. Single actions. Now, if you look here, I've got two single actions. Now, I know that red relates to my work and blue relates to home. So that's how I figure that one out. So I can click on that. And let's say I'm going to schedule that for Sunday. So I can just tip that. Process FES payments for 2006. This is going to be done at my computer. And I'm going to, this is a single action again, but this is a work single action. And I need to do that on Monday. And actually, if I just go back here, because that's an important task, I'm going to call it P1, which gives me, P1 is going to give me the flag P1, which is a red flag, must be done on Monday. And then discuss with RK. RK is my wife. Oops, I pressed the wrong button there. So what I would do is at R, which is Rangyong, which is my wife. So, and then that's a home project. So again, it's a single actions item, and that's a P2. We'll do that in the morning, and I'll do that tomorrow. So it's a Sunday. And that is how I process my inbox. So basically, I'm using the commands, the @ sign for labels, and the hashtag sign for projects. And I'm just using the tab key to move on to the dates, and that's it. And to be honest with you, it takes next to no time to process it. But like I say, if you've got hundreds of projects and hundreds of labels, particularly labels that you don't use, then this is going to get a lot more difficult for you. So down here, it looks like I've got a lot of labels, but I haven't actually, like here, planning has nothing in it. So I'm just going to delete that one. If I need it again, I can always add it. Website, it doesn't have anything in it, so I can delete that label. I've got one for office, face-to-face again. So I'm looking for labels that don't have any actions associated with them, like I've got here anywhere. Actually, I know I use anywhere, so I leave that in. So anything that doesn't really have any label tasks attached to the label, I regularly just delete them because there's no point in having a long list of labels. Same with projects. As most of you have been following this, I have a simple routine system. I have a work system which doesn't usually have very many projects in it. And my home, again, it doesn't have very many projects in it. So there we have, and that's it. That's my inbox processed. The next key that I use a lot is my Q key. The Q, which if you tap Q, it brings up the quick add task. Now, yeah, I can just click on add task at any time, but I'm so used to using keyboard shortcuts, and if I have an idea, I can just do exactly the same thing. So go shopping for groceries tomorrow. Actually, I don't need tomorrow in there. I can do that at home, so you can see I can do, and I can put in a single, and that's a home, done, and tap in tomorrow. Now, I actually have date parsing turned off simply because I don't need the date parsing, and also I find it a little bit, sometimes when I'm moving very quickly, I end up adding tasks to dates when I don't want to add tasks. But I guess most of you guys probably do use the targeting. The next quick action I use is the forward arrow for a quick find. So if I'm in a writing mood, I can bring up the label writing, and then brings up all my writing, and that's just the forward slash. So if you click the forward slash, I find I'm using that one so many times. It's just the forward slash key, and it brings you straight up to quick find, and I can type in Rangyong, and there we go, and then bang, I can find all the things that I need to talk to my wife about just from that one keyboard, which is the forward slash button. And really, that's all I'm using when I'm in Todoist. Todoist is normally just processing, and I'm on my way. It's no problem. There is one other thing that I'm using as well, which I should point out is let's see. Okay, let's go into my routines, and let's just say the one thing I do find I'm using is this one, particularly when I've been working on one specific project and I've got a lot of add tool. Oh, actually, I'll show you from a project that I'm writing at the moment. You guys who've been following this channel probably already know that I'm writing a book, and it's nearly finished, on Todoist, and that's in my work folder. So Todoist book. Now, things to add, I've got quite a few things. Now here, down here, I've got, as I've been doing the editing, I've got a few things that I want to check. So what I can do is, as you can see, I've got no labels attached to these. And now I can actually go up by clicking on the Shift key there. Hang on, let me just click into the, so if I click into these, if I click on the Shift key when I tap at the right, to the left, sorry, of the label, and then Shift key at the bottom, I can select all these tasks here, and now I can move to a project, I can schedule them, I can add a priority, or in this case I can add or remove a label. I can send them to archive, and I find I use that function a lot as well. So that's just to give you an idea of how I'm using some of the keyboards when I'm actually in Todoist. The other quick thing I wanted to show you, I have mentioned this, is creating your own unique dashboard. And I have my own unique dashboard, which all I have to do is click on the Todoist logo up at the top here. I have my inbox at the top because that's when I'm seeing. Now, the thing is, this this is how I'm processing at the end of the day. So now we're getting close towards the end of the day. I think what time is it? It's about 8:30 on a Saturday evening. I have a few things that I need to do before I go to bed tonight. Actually, some of these will probably get handed off till tomorrow. For example, my Starbucks card needs sorting out, but I'm going to hand that off actually till next week. I don't need to do it straight away. Find out how to monetize YouTube, etc., things like that. But here I've also got my waiting for. Now, the reason why is during the day I'm not worrying about my waiting for, but when I'm processing at the end of the day, I have this actually creeps up because obviously there's a lot less tasks in my to-do, and I can suddenly be reminded of anything that I'm waiting for. That's a really cool way. By the way, for those of you who are interested, if you want to create your own unique dashboard, as I call this my dashboard, what you do is you go into settings up here, Todoist settings, and up here you've got a start page. Now with the start page you can have all sorts of different ideas. You can start with a project, you can start with a blank, you can start with whatever you want. Custom query is the one that you want, and then here, as you can see, I've got P, which is for project, double dot, inbox, comma, overdue and today, which obviously I need to see what I haven't done, and then at waiting for. Now you can edit this as much as you like, and you can change the order. So if I wanted to see my waiting for at the top, then I could put that there at the beginning and then put inbox next and overdue and today, whichever way I want to do it. But over the last few months, I have found that this format for me is absolutely perfect, particularly as I say when I'm processing at the end of the day. A really, really good trick that I should point out. I have covered creating your own unique start page before, but this is my latest one, and I think, boy, does it save a lot of time. I'm not looking for anything, and I never forget anything that I'm waiting for. So it's a really, really cool dashboard, if you like, to start with. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to cover is the how I'm using it if I'm using in a website. So let's say one of my favorite websites is the Suits of James Bond. And in here, I could be reading a blog post like Blofeld's Navy Nehru jacket, or the Day of the Dead costume, which I wouldn't really want to buy. But let's just say, why does James Bond wear suits so often? So let's say I think, wow, this is really cool. I really want to read about this. For those of you who, I'm hoping you are using this as much as I am, clicking on downloading the Todoist extension for Safari or for Chrome or Firefox or any of the other browsers that they do it for. Clicking on that creates this wonderful thing. You click on return, I can send it, and then I can move on to the next thing. Let's go back into, so why does James Bond wear suits so often? So if you noticed, when I actually clicked on the Todoist thing, the Todoist, it looks a lot more complicated. Now when you're in here, I could actually drop down menu, or sorry, I don't even have to drop down menu. I could just add the project here. Sorry, I could add the label, I can add the project, and I can add the date. Really, really cool. But when it comes up in your Todoist, look what happens. You've got this wonderful clickable link. And so if, as you can see, I'm in here now. Let's just go into, we'll go into, let's, I can't make up my mind today. Let's go into YouTube. As we go in from YouTube and from here, and we can actually click on now. On this, it takes me straight to the bondsuits.com and it takes me directly to the article, and I can read it directly from there. Really, really cool way to do this, and I find that particularly useful. And really, that's it. That's all I'm using as keyboard shortcuts. There are many others, and for those of you who are interested, you can go into Todoist keyboard shortcuts. Todoist has a wonderful page for this on their support pages, and I often go there looking for new ways of picking up things. So you got Q, which is quickly add tasks from anywhere. A would, so for example, if I'm in here, let's say I'm in this, I can tap A, no, return, I can A, and I can go down. That's really cool. There's another one which is you can do the capital A, so we can do the Shift A, which for some reason does something different, does the same thing. But anyway, so you've got quite a lot of things here. Oh, yes, that's the point. I've just seen one that I do use. And let's go into the, I'm going to go into a project that has dates. And most of my projects don't because I don't operate dates. But let's just say from here, next 7 days. No, that's not going to work. But what you can do is use the S key. I do use the S key when I'm in a project and I'm actually wanting to sort things, particularly when I'm doing my weekly review. Anyway, I think I've spoken enough. I did say this was going to be a short episode. Turns out it's been a long episode, but I think we'll finish there. So hopefully that's given you an idea of how I am using these keyboard shortcuts and some of the actions that I'm using on a regular basis. Thank you very, very much for watching the episode. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want the latest news and updates on Todoist. And thank you once again for watching. I hope you all have a very, very productive week.